Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the chapter number 4, that is distribution of ocean and continents. So here in this chapter we are going to study how our continents and oceans they are distributed all over the surface of the earth. What is the percentage of continent in terms of land mass? What is the percentage of ocean in terms of land mass? How are the land mass formed? How the changes have been noticed over the continents and the ocean throughout the centuries, we are going to study in this. So let's start the introduction. As we know, students, the continents cover 29% of the earth's surface, and the remainder of the ocean, and the remaining part is of the ocean. The position of ocean and continents have not been the same in the past. So we are going to discuss how the position of the continents and ocean they have changed from years to years. So this theory was given, that is continental drift theory. Many scientists believed of similarity between the symmetry of coastlines of the continents and considered the possibility of joint continents. Alfred Wegener was the first person. He was from Germany. He put forward the theory of continental drift. According to him, the continents once had been joined together. This supercontinent was named as Pangaea, and around the Pangaea surrounds a mega ocean called as Panthalassa. After 200 million years, Pangaea also got divided into two parts. The first part was called as Eurasia, and the second part was called as Gondwana land. Now students, we are going to discuss some of the evidences that supports the continental drift theory. Are there any evidences to believe that the continental drift theory is right? So we are going to discuss some of the evidences. So the first evidence is matching of continents, or in the book it is also given as jigsaw puzzle. The shorelines of Africa and South American continents have a remarkable and unmistakable match. So the shorelines or coastlines of the African continent and South American continent, if we join together, they have been joined remarkably. They are joining very correctly, accurately. Second is the rock of same age across the ocean. So the belt of ancient rocks of 2000 million years old from Brazil coast matches with those from the Western Africa. So the rocks of Brazil and Western Africa, they are the same. Third one is tillite. So tillite is a type of sedimentary rocks. So the tillite is deposited, and the deposit have been found from the many countries and continents like Africa, Madagascar. Madagascar is a country that is also in Africa. Third one is Antarctica, Australia and India. So all these countries and continents have a same type of sedimentary rocks. Fourth one is placer deposits. Placer deposits means the rich deposits of gold, and the rich deposits of gold have been found in Ghana, and it resembles with that is found in Brazil. Fifth one is distribution of fossils. The fossils of lemurs occurs in India, Madagascar and Africa, and it has led to some considerable contiguous landmass. This contiguous landmass was called as Lemuria. Lemuria include, again I am repeating, Lemuria include India, Madagascar and Africa. Second type of fossil, that is the fossil of Mesosaurus. It is a reptile animal that is found in two regions. First region is the southern cape of South Africa, and second one is the Irauer formation of Brazil. So students, in this slide we are going to discuss some of the forces that were responsible for the drifting of continents. So the first force is polar filling force. This force is related to the rotation of the earth. Students, as we know that earth is bulged at the equator, so it is said that this bulging at the equator is because of the polar filling force, that is the rotation of the earth. Second force is tidal force. So students, as the name suggests, tidal means the tide, so it is caused due to the attraction of moon and sun and develops tides in the ocean. So we can say that tides were also responsible the moving of the continents. Now students, we are going to discuss some of the post-drift theories. So one of the post-drift theories was convectional current theory. This theory was given by Arthur Holmes in 1930. He discussed the possibility of convectional currents operating in the mantle portion. These currents are generated due to the thermal differences in the mantle portion. Now students, we are going to discuss how we are going to map the ocean floor. The first point is existence of ridges and deep trenches nearby the continental margins. Mid-oceanic ridge is the most active for volcanic eruption. As we know students, what is the mid-oceanic ridge? These are the chain of mountains that are found inside the ocean. Third one is the ocean floor is much younger than the continents. Fourth one is the rocks of the equal distance of the ridge have similar chemical composition in terms of age. Now students, in the next slide we are going to discuss some of the features that are found in the ocean. Now students, we have divided the ocean floor into three major categories. First is continental margins. These form the transition between the continental shore and deep sea basins. They include the continental shelf, continental slope, continental rise, and deep oceanic trenches. Second one are your abyssal plains. These are the flattest region of the ocean. These are the plains that lie between the continental margins and mid-oceanic ridges. These are between the areas where the continental sediments that moved beyond the margins get deposited. Third one is the mid-oceanic ridges. These are the interconnected chain of mountains within the oceans. It is the longest mountain chain on the surface of the earth, though it is submerged under the waters. Thank you.